Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Ruchakodash. The honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us his truth. Shalom also to the Akim pushing his word in sincerity and in truth, and to the speckled bird across the four corners of the world, and to the few sisters who are listening to you. I say Shalom. Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson on the brother Hadasher from the GMS Chicago camp, coming back at you with another lesson. And I don't really have a title for the lesson yet, but the inspiration behind this lesson is going to be the scripture right here, John 1:17. And it reads, "For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by YAHAWASHI HAMASHAYACH." And the reason why I want to go into this is because, in these last days, we see a lot of heresies, and we see a lot of different Israelite groups with, basically telling you that they're keeping the law perfectly, and relying on the law, and basically leaning back on Moses, right? But when you really understand the scriptures, man, Moses prophesied of YAHAWASHI. Moses told the Israelites that a prophet like unto him would raise up from among the brethren, and that they were going to have to listen to him. You see, the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by YAHAWASHI HaMashiach. So if you are relying on the law and you're basically leaning back on Moses, you're basically saying you don't need YAHAWASHI, man. Because when YAHAWASHI was on the scene, he gave the proper understanding of everything in the scriptures, man. He expounded to the disciples, man. Even though he spoke in parables and, in dark sayings, he would expound unto his disciples what he meant, right? He expounded unto them. It says right here in Mark 4:34, it says, "But without a parable he spake he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples." So even though he spoke in parables, he expounded and gave the breakdown to his disciples, the ones that actually, followed after the Lord, you see? And these guys that are, so-called want to be teachers of the law and teach the law and this, that, and the third, man. See, these guys have completely lost the understanding of what this is about, man. You want to be a teacher of the law and teach the law and so on and so forth. Look, man, we're not going to be saved by the law. The law is not going to save us, man. No matter how hard you try to spin that narrative out to your congregation, eventually they're going to find out that, no, we can't get saved by the law. The law, the law worketh wrath, like the scriptures say, But it says, let me get it. Put that note as well. But it says, 1 Timothy 1:8. But we know that the law is good. Or, you know what? Let me start off at verse 6. It says, 1 Timothy 1:6. From which some, having swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm. And that's these Sicarii guys, man. These guys are telling you they're keeping the law perfectly. They're telling you that Paul isn't authorized, basically, and all these different things. They're basically desiring to be teachers of the law. They're telling you they're keeping the law perfectly, so on and so forth. But in the same breath, they tell you that it's okay to have sex on the Sabbath. Look, man, these guys don't understand what they're saying, nor whereof they affirm. They don't even know what they're saying out there, man. At this point, they've thrown away the book of Hebrews. They've thrown away absolutely anything that Paul wrote, you know. They're throwing out certain gospels, if you weren't there, then, Luke, nah. Mark, nah. These guys are basically throwing out the whole New Testament. They don't even believe in Yahawashi when you really think about it, man. They believe in Moses, which really they're cutting themselves by trusting in the law and believing in Moses. Because Moses prophesied of Yahawashi, and Yahawashi said this, man. He cut them niggas, man. I'm going to get that as well, but let me keep reading. It says 1 Timothy 1:8. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. And that's true. The law is good if you use it lawfully. Because the law tells you how to honor your father and mother. The law tells you how to handle certain situations. The proper protocol of how to please the Lord in that certain situation. The Lord tells you how to please him. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. But our people were not using the law lawfully, man. They weren't using the law for good purposes. When you read about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and what they were doing, right? They were devouring widows' houses, man. They were literally making merchandise out of the people, man. Just like these Sakari niggas, man, making merchandise out of you fucking broke-ass Israelites, man. How the fuck are you going to be charging $500 a month for a spiritual life coach and our people could barely fucking afford their rent, man? Our people be through, man. Our people be broke as fuck, bro. Israel be broke, man. We're in our captivity. This is not our rest. How the fuck are you going to be charging $500 a month, man? That shit is fucking bugged out, man. Charging for breakdowns, charging for prayers, charging for a Hebrew name. Come on, bro. You know our people are through. What the fuck are you doing, man? When you read about the Pharisees and the Sadducees, what they were doing, right? Matthew, the 23rd chapter, when Yahawashi cursed out the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? These guys weren't, Yahawashi said, yeah, do what they say, but don't do what they're doing. They're not keeping the law. They're not doing what they're telling you to do. So yes, the law is good if a man uses it lawfully, man. But our people like to use the law and the words of God deceitfully, man. They like to play on Jake's desire to fulfill that void, man. Because when you're in the world and you have no understanding of the scriptures and you have no idea who your power is and you're just lost, there's a void in you, man. You're looking for something to fill that void. That's why our people are all into that weird ass ideologies, man. Our people are into Egyptology and witchcraft and Muslim shit and all these different types of things, man, because they're trying to fill that void. All right? But the only one that could fill that void is Yahawashi, especially Yahawashi. Only Yahawashi. Look, it says only the elect have obtained it, but the rest were blinded. It says right here, Romans 11:7. What then? Israel has not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So our people, for the most part, they're looking for something to fulfill that void, but the only ones that have obtained it, that have obtained what they're seeking for, is the election, but the rest were blinded. See, if Yahawashi hasn't been revealed to you, man, he's ultimately been made as a stumbling block and a rock of offense unto you. You don't believe in Yahawashi. For you to make statements that you're keeping the law perfectly, you don't believe in Yahawashi and the sacrifice. You're trusting in the law and you're leaning on Moses, which Moses knew that Yahawashi was coming. He prophesied of Yahawashi, man. The one that gave us the law. The one, because Moses gave us the law, but Yahawashi gave us truth and mercy, or grace and mercy, man. Yahawashi gave us the breakdown of how to follow the Spirit, how to follow the Lord, man. How to be the true worshipers of Yahawashi, how to worship him in spirit and in truth, man. Which the Pharisees, they weren't telling you how to do that, man. They themselves weren't entering the kingdom and were not letting you enter the kingdom as well, man. Just like how these fucking guys, man, telling you they're keeping the law perfectly. They're not entering the kingdom and they're not letting you in either, man. By telling you they're keeping the law perfectly. Now here it is, you got fucking Jake watching them taking notes, and now they think they're keeping the law perfectly. You see what you're doing? Man, it's just bugged out. You're basically telling them not to trust in the sacrifice of Yahawashi. This is basically what you're doing, man. Because the only way we're going to be cleansed and, the only way we're going to be looked at as clean in the eyes of the Most High God, Yahweh, is by coming to him through his son, through Yahawashi, by being cleansed through that blood. That's how we're going to be clean in the eyes of Yahweh. Yahawashi said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. You think you're going to get to the Lord by keeping the laws perfectly? Let's say hypothetically, let's say you kept all the laws perfectly, right? Let's say you kept every single law perfectly down to a T, right? Every single law. Let's say you kept the sacrifices, you went to Israel 3 times a year, you did what every single thing that's required of you as an Israelite through the law, right? If you don't believe in Yahawashi, none of that matters, bro. If you don't believe in the Son of God, that don't even matter that you kept the law perfectly, bro. Do you realize that? Paul said, I count all things dung to be found in him, to be found in Yahawashi. Do you realize that? Paul was a Pharisee of the Pharisees, man. He was in the most straightest sect. And he said that. He said he counted all things dung to be found in Yahawashi. Now you got guys saying that they're keeping the law perfectly, man. You guys have no understanding of the scriptures, man. You completely have lost understanding of the importance of Yahawashi, the magnitude of Yahawashi. The whole scriptures is about him. He comes in the volume of the book, man. You see? It says Matthew 23:13, but woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. So not only, it says, matter of fact, verse 14, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater condemnation. So here it is. These guys are they're not even going inside the kingdom themselves or letting anybody go in. They're making merchandise out of you. They're telling you to keep the law perfectly. They're not even letting you go inside the kingdom, right? And not only that, but it says that they devour widows' houses. What do you think that means, man? They're making merchandise out of people. And that's what these guys are doing nowadays, man. Making merchandise out of our people, man. You think the Lord is with that, man? Just because you're going into all these different arguments about the law and this, that, and the third. You think the Lord cares about that, bro? You think the Lord wants you to go talk about his son? Paul said, I came not with excellency of speech or knowledge, save Yahawashi and him crucified. All that matters right now, man, are things that accompany salvation. All right? All this other bullshit that these niggas want to talk about, the law, the law, the law. The law isn't going to save us, bro. YAHAWASHI is. His blood is going to save us, man. Dumbass niggas, man. Spiritual dumbasses. That's what they are, bro. It says 1 Timothy 1:6, but I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, but some people have missed this whole point. These guys have missed the whole point. They have turned away from these things and spend their time in meaningless discussions. All those 2-3 hour long videos and no edification, man. Fucking through. Says they want to be known as teachers of the law of Moses, but they don't know what they are talking about, even though they speak so confidently. We know that the law is good when used correctly. For the law was not intended for people who do what is right. It is for people who are lawless and rebellious, who are ungodly and sinful, who consider nothing sacred and defile what is holy, who kill their father or mother or commit other murders. And it basically goes into who the law is for. Because look, man, these guys, you know, they want to be known as teachers of the law. They want to be known as these great guys. They basically want to be in the positions of the apostles and elders, man. They want to be like, they want to be in the same stead that Apostle Tahar is, and, you know, Apostle Gabar and all the, they want that position, man. Because look, man, the apostles of Great Millstone, they are the elders of Israel, man. They have the correct breakdown. They have the 100% truth, man. And they've stuck to the same doctrine throughout the years. They've never changed up the doctrine. They've never told you that they're keeping the law perfectly. They've never, you know, told you all this dumbass shit that these different camps are telling you, man. I'm fully persuaded that Great Millstone, we have the 100% truth, man. We don't want to be known as teachers of the law of Moses, man. We want to be known as defenders of the gospel, man. We've been set at the defense of the gospel. We don't care about, you know, being known as teachers of the law of Moses. Yeah, we could go into the law and break it down, right? We know how to break down the scriptures, but right now we're not gonna be saved by the law, man. It says if we offend in one point, we're guilty of all. That's why the importance of YAHAWASHI is so emphasized, man, all throughout the New Testament and throughout the Old Testament as well, because YAHAWASHI was gonna be for a sanctuary. It says right here, Isaiah 8:14, and he shall be for a sanctuary. You see, YAHAWASHI was meant to be a sanctuary, but he's really only a sanctuary unto the elect. Only the elect have obtained what they're looking for to fulfill that void. Only the elect have obtained the truth. Everybody else has been blinded. It says, verse 14, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. You see? So a lot of our people, you know, they were actually going to be offended at YAHAWASHI. They were going to stumble at YAHAWASHI. And you could see that all throughout the scriptures during the time that the Lord was on the scene, man. They were stumbling at his parables, the things that he was saying, right? They were constantly trying to catch him up in his words, even though they knew deep down that he was the Messiah. See, a lot of people denied the Lord, man. You see, they wanted to trust in the law, but the law isn't going to save you, man. YAHAWASHI, he's the sanctuary. That's where we have to, that's how we're going to come before the Father, man, and be accepted through the blood of YAHAWASHI. He is the way, the will. He's the way, the truth, and the life, man. You see? YAHAWASHI, he's the one that's going to take us into the kingdom, man. It's not going to be the law. YAHAWASHI is going to be the one to take us out these bodies and put us in the kingdom and put the law inside of us so that we never go off, man. Right now, we can't keep the law perfectly, man. But in the kingdom, we're never going to go off, man. You see? But this is the reason why so many different Israelites are just speaking a lot of dumbass shit, man. Because really, they're offended at Yahawashi. Yahawashi is a jinn unto them. It's a trap. You know that word jinn means a trap. All right? Because really, when you say things like you're keeping the law perfectly and so on and so forth, right? You're just sealing your judgment even more, because how can you say that you believe in the law and trust in the law and so on and so forth, but the law prophesied of Yahawashi, man? It says right here, John 5:43, I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. How can ye believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from God only? And what's the honor that cometh from God only? That you believe in his Son, that you believe on Yahawashi, that you believe on his name. That's the honor that cometh from God, man. Because before this, it says that the Lord basically committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men shall honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. That's who you're supposed to honor, man. Yahawashi. And if you disrespect the Son, the Father isn't with you, man. It tells you that in second John 1:9. That if you transgress the doctrine of HAMASHAYACH, you don't have God. The Lord isn't with you, man. See, these guys are only seeking honor one from another. They're not seeking the honor that cometh from God only. And that honor is believing in Yahawashi, man. We want to be found in Yahawashi at his return. You see, we count all things dung. Yes, the law came by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahawashi HaMashiach. It's through the knowledge of Yahawashi and what he did on that cross that we're going to be made wise unto salvation, man. Do you understand that? Do you understand that knowing the importance of the sacrifice that Yahawashi did, just understanding that, that's going to be the power of your salvation, man. Believing in the Son of God, believing in Yahawashi, man. And when you read all throughout the scriptures, Yahawashi is riddled all throughout the scriptures, man. From the book of Genesis through the Apocrypha and in the New Testament, man. Yahawashi is in all of it, the whole volume. All right? So how can you say, yeah, you're keeping the law perfectly? Well, do you know that Yahawashi was written in the law? It says verse 45, do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if ye believe not his writings, how shall ye believe my words? And he's really scoffing them, man. He's scoffing their ass. He's telling them, don't think I'm going to accuse you. Hey, Moses already accused you. The one that you trust, the one that you believe, you want to trust in the law? Well, guess what? Moses wrote of me. For had you believed Moses, you would have believed me. You believe Moses, right? You would trust in the law, right? Damn, bro, this is cold. Yahawashi is scoffing them, bro. He's basically telling them that they don't really believe in Moses. See, these guys desiring to be teachers of the law, man, they don't even know what they're talking about, bro. Because Yahawashi is in the law, man. It says right here, Deuteronomy 18:15, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, according to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord my God, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. The Lord said unto me, they have spoken they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. So if you want to trust in the law and trust in Moses, and you want to say that you're keeping the law perfectly, well, guess what, brother? Moses prophesied of Yahawashi. And Moses said right here, which really the Lord said, that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. So the Lord is going to require those words that, these Sakari guys have been speaking, man. And they're really going to be made an example before their congregation, man. Because you can't be saying stuff like that and think you're going to get away with it, man. YAHAWASHI is going to require those words off those men. For you to say they're keeping the law perfectly, you're basically throwing away the sacrifice of YAHAWASHI. You're trampling it under your feet. And that's a great offense, man. It says right here, Exodus 23:20, behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice and provoke him not. You're not supposed to provoke YAHAWASHI. You're saying all these different things. You're provoking YAHAWASHI, man. The scripture says, kiss the son lest he be angry. We're supposed to praise YAHAWASHI, man. We're supposed to obey his voice because the Lord committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son even as they honor the Father. So if you don't believe in YAHAWASHI and follow YAHAWASHI, and you're trusting in your own righteousness, thinking you're keeping the law perfectly, you're about to get fucked up, bro. You got to repent. You're not supposed to provoke YAHAWASHI to anger, man. When you say things like you're keeping the law perfectly, that's what you're doing. It says, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. You see? So YAHAWASHI was the Messiah prophesied in the scriptures, man. He is the Son of God. And right now, as we speak, he's on the right hand of the Father, man, pleading our case, pleading our cause. All right? So be very, very careful how you speak on his names, all right? On those names, on YAHAWASHI, what you teach on those names. Because it says right here, James 3:1, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. We're not supposed to be, we're supposed to be rightly dividing this word of truth, man. It says right here, James 3:1 in the NIV, not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that we who teach will be judged more strictly. The ones that are breaking down these scriptures, if you're not rightly dividing the word of truth, and you're not, showing forth doctrine and weight and correctly, man, the Lord is going to judge you for that, man. Let me see. Because when we teach, we're supposed to be showing and breaking down these scriptures exactly. All right? It says right here, Sirach 16:25, I will show forth doctrine and weight and declare his knowledge exactly. So when we teach this word, we have to show forth doctrine and weight. And that's what the apostles of Great Millstone have done. They have done their due diligence, man. They've done the research. They've gone to the libraries and read the books and done the hours of research, man. And guess what? Because they have done that and done their due diligence, they're able to show forth the doctrine and weight. They're able to break down the scriptures, go into the book of Revelation, go into the book of Daniel's, go into the book of Ezra's, go into the history, man. They're able to declare his knowledge exactly. The apostles of Great Millstone, they have the 100% truth, man. When you teach these words of the Lord, you're supposed to handle these words carefully, man. Because we who teach are going to receive the greater condemnation. We're going to be judged more strictly. The Lord is going to require the things that we have said out of this mouth. He's going to require it. All right? We can't just be saying anything and pulling shit out of our ass, man. You got to fear the Lord and really rightly divide this word of truth, man. We got to show forth doctrine and weight. You see? These other guys, they're mishandling the word of God, and they're being, like Elder Malcolm always says, they're being willfully ignorant. All right? Because when you take, to be a defender of the gospel, that's not only a heavy lot through the spirit, but it's also an intellectual responsibility, man. You have to go out there and research, man. You got to go out there and work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to know what you're talking about, man. All right? You got to really put in the work. All right? Really understand with all you're getting, get understanding so that you rightly divide the word of truth. You can't be like these other guys out there thinking they're keeping the law perfectly and going off in the doctrine and going off ultimately on YAHAWASHI, man. If you're not teaching YAHAWASHI correctly, you're going to get judged for that, man. Because the Lord put his name on YAHAWASHI, man. And if you don't follow him and what he says, you're through, bro. YAHAWASHI is our only way back to the Father. He's our mediator. He's our high priest. You think Chief High Priest Hoover Crip Alizar is going to take you into the kingdom? That's not going to happen, bro. Even the apostles and elders always tell us, we're not going to take you into the kingdom. You got to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to work out you got to do the work. You think the work of the apostles and elders is going to save us? No. They're telling you how to fight. The apostles and elders constantly tell us, don't believe us. Go do your own research. Go read. The apostles and elders constantly tell us, hey, go do the work. If you don't know what to do, follow what we do. Do the work, bro. The works of the apostles and elders is not going to save you. It's about what you do when you got the truth now. Are you feeding the flock? What are you doing with the talent that the Lord gave you, man? Because when you go click on the apostles and elders page, right, they're using their talent, man. Day in and day out, putting up lessons, doing this, doing that, edifying. So what are you doing? Are you declaring forth doctrine and weight? Are you declaring his knowledge and exactly? Because the apostles of Great Millstone are doing that. These other guys in these other camps, they're not doing that. They're over here telling you they're keeping the law perfectly, man. What the fuck? That's going off, man. That's not showing forth doctrine and weight, man. All right? When we teach about YAHAWASHI, that's the spirit of prophecy. And we got to come out the scriptures when we teach about YAHAWASHI, man. We can't go off in the doctrine. All right? So yes, like we read in that John 1:17, the law came by Moses, but grace and truth through YAHAWASHI HAMASHAYACH. YAHAWASHI gave the whole breakdown. He's our way back to the Father, man. He's the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by him. All right? So all these guys saying they're keeping the law perfectly, man, hey, don't even stop listening to those guys, man. They're going to lead you astray. All right? So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Ruach the honors unto the apostles and the elders of the Great Millstone who taught us this truth.